All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakar Kadash. All right, coming back again with another, this one's going to be an article that, I came across that I found interesting and funny. All right, so basically it's about the, um, the complaints by, so-called white Twitter. Well, it's just basically by Esau. They're complaining that they're doing a remake of the 19, I believe it was 1989 Little Mermaid. They're doing a remake of the Little Mermaid, and for those of us who was born in the 80s, well, yeah, during the 80s, you remember this movie. Even if you was born in the 90s, you probably saw it too. But the Little Mermaid, the cartoon, she was a white girl with red hair, and now they're casting this singer named Halle Bailey. Yes, I guess she's a Disney singer or whatever she is. They're casting her, and she's a Jake woman. What do you call a so-called African American? And they're casting her to play the Little Mermaid now, and a bunch of complaints, like as the title says here, a bunch of complaints came on Twitter, being upset, saying that they're mad about the fact that they're casting a so-called African American woman to play Little Mermaid, and it just shows you the stupidity of people in the world, and I'm not just going to say of just Esau, but people, just the simplicity and stupidity of them, because first and foremost, the Little Mermaid isn't a real person. It's a goddamn cartoon. And people, there's so much things going on with this world, but you want to sit here and get riled up about a cartoon character who's going to play a cartoon character. We got earthquakes going on in the world. We got the tensions between Iran and America, but you want to go and be mad and boycott and without people, the Jakes, they're all happy that the fact that Disney is allowing the Little Mermaid to be played by a black girl. Like, y'all are so ignorant to the times we living in that y'all sitting here want to get mad about a fucking cartoon, man. That's all it is a cartoon. Fuck Disney, fuck the Little Mermaid. Like, it's a cartoon. But I'm just gonna get into the article before I get too upset. All right, and it reads: the 4th of July seems like a good a time as for Slakia, as good a time as any for non-black people to remind the world of how racist people are across the globe, and especially in America. And that's precisely what happening to the holiday that celebrates the country's birth, as determined by the colonizers who stole the land from Native Americans. Right. So that right there, just like a little quick stop right there. The 4th of July is a big slap to the face for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Every year, it's a big slap to your face because they're celebrating their country, them basically them coming over here, stealing, killing, raping, and enslaving people. And our people, you so-called black, Latino, and Americans, we celebrate that right along with them. Because even if it's in ignorance, that makes it even worse because you're not even doing your research to see why you're celebrating. And that's the problem with Jake, man. You're so docile that anytime there's a chance to party, you'll go all with it. Anytime there's a chance to party, no matter what the holiday is, no matter what the occasion is, y'all are with it, man. That's because y'all in a docile state of mind where y'all just want to, like Biggie said, party and bullshit. That's all y'all want to do. But these people, these red people, they out here celebrating your conquest, your enslavement, your death, and your pillage and your rape is right in front of you, and y'all out here celebrating and lighting fireworks, firecrackers off right along with them, telling each other Happy 4th of July. Like, how stupid can you be, man? How stupid can you be to be out here and celebrate the death, destruction of your own people? That's why I was, when the 4th of July happened, I was just hoping that, majority of these people who get injured by these fireworks, I hope it was blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, because y'all are the stupidest people on the earth to be out here celebrating a holiday that is about enslaving you and raping you and becoming a whole new country off your demise. Yeah, I know they went to war with Britain over this land, but at the end of the day, you still were in slavery in 1777, man. I'm not gonna get too sidetracked because it's not even about 4th of July, but just because they wrote it right there, it's just so it shows the stupidity of our people, man. And y'all do this shit year after year, man. That's why the Lord has something special for you, docile Black, Latino, Native Americans, man. Because y'all don't see the big picture here. Y'all don't understand that the Lord put us here as a punishment, not for us to be joining hand in hand with our enemies, celebrating their holidays, which are our downfalls. Because in a couple months, you're gonna be doing it again for Thanksgiving. Y'all are retarded. But keep going. As word spread that there would be a remake of The Little Mermaid, fans of the original Disney movie rejoiced. That is, until they learned that it would be starring a black actress. If you listen closely, a collective sigh of white anguish could be heard when it was confirmed that Halle Bailey would play the Disney princess in the reboot of the original animated film from 1989. Bailey called the casting a dream come true before social media tried to turn the announcement into a nightmare for her as the hashtag Not My Ariel became a top trending topic on Thursday. The pushback on Twitter followed by random Chinese news outlets trying to reduce Bailey to a colored actress in a tweet. And this is the Jake right here that is going to be playing Ariel in The Little Mermaid. All right, and I guess this is the Chinese tweet. R&B singer Halle Bailey will play the role of Ariel in a live-action version of The Little Mermaid, she said Wednesday. It's a rare occasion when a colored actress will be cast as a Disney princess. And, the backlash from the, so-called black community, it's like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want to be called, man. Because y'all were once calling yourself niggers, coloreds, African Americans, Afro Americans. Y'all change what the fuck y'all want to be called every 5 to 10 years. So now when these other people call you colored, you want to say it's a racist thing. They're being racist. But you yourself are calling yourself everything under the sun except for what you really are. And then when you got the prophets of the Lord, through the Spirit of the Lord, come out here and trying to wake you up to what you are, you don't want to accept it. But you want to get mad when you're getting called other bywords and stereotypes that these other nations give you. Where do you think the word African American come from? That's a byword. That's not your nationality. You ain't no stinking African. All right? But when somebody calls you colored, you want to say, oh, they're racist. Keep reading. The timing of the ugly episode on social media was fitting, as racism on the 4th of July is just about as American as it can be. Activist Brittany Packnett seemed to sum it all up quite nicely when she took to Twitter to compare the outrage over Bailey's casting to religious faith. And this is what Brittany Packnett wrote. Imagine believing Jesus is white, but believing a fictional mermaid can't be black. Right. Because the world ignorantly calls him Jesus Christ, and they all ignorantly believe that his name, that he's a so-called white man, because that's what they did. They changed, they opened up the books and changed the faces. So now they took the Israelites' Lord and Savior, and they named him Jesus, and they also painted him as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. But then they get mad. Then the devils get mad when you cast an African American as a cartoon. But since Esau been in power, all they do is take historic characters and play them by so-called red people. You watch Gods of what's the name of that movie? Gods and Pharaohs of Egypt, I think it's called. I think it has Gerard Butler in it. All the Egyptians and everybody in there are red devils, man. You had Noah playing Russell Crowe, playing Russell Crowe, and you go to the Bible, them men were black men. Passion of Christ. America would be probably on fire if they had the Passion of Christ being played by a so-called black man. When the Lord is a black man. You read Revelations, it tells you, Revelations 1 and 14, it tells you his description, and it's a black man. And you had people even being outraged, you had these devils being outraged when our people, first and foremost, should be celebrating Christmas, but they got outraged that certain malls had Santa Claus being played by a black man. So now you got a cartoon character, not even a real person. There is no mermaids. You have a cartoon character being portrayed as a young black African American colored woman, whatever you want to call her. Now, Red America is mad, and this just shows you that the hatred that they have for you, so-called blacks, Latino, Native Americans, is real, man. It's real. You don't want to accept it. You want to one day get over this. One day be able to get over this color boundary, this color line. But it's never going to happen, man. And I'm gonna get into the scriptures to prove why. There's always going to be boundaries in racism, man. It's either they're going to show it or they're going to keep it behind closed doors, man. And that's just what it is. And until y'all understand that, and y'all going to understand that when all hell breaks loose and these race wars pop off in America, because y'all still trying to have hope in these devils, man, that they're going to finally overcome, like your soothsayer Martin Luther King tried to make you believe. But like he also said, he feels like he led his people into a house that's burning. And that's what he did, because right now y'all still in that docile state of mind, man. Y'all still there. Y'all still think that one day that these devils gonna realize, like, yeah, yo, let's just all get along and let's get over this hatred. But the Lord didn't set it up that way. All right, keep reading. The people pushing the arguably racist hashtag Not My Ariel hashtag were kindly reminded by other Twitter users of the silence when Academy Award-nominated actor Jay Gyllenhaal was cast as a Persian. Right, I forget the name of the movie he was in. I think it might have been called Persia or something like that. And Jay Gyllenhaal, he's a so-called red person, but he played a Persian. You got what, 300? Those are the Spartans at that time were black, were so-called black men, and you had the Persians, some of the Persians playing as so-called red men, Edomites, man. So every time y'all make a movie about history, y'all always make it with y'all people. But when they finally touch it with people of color in y'all history, that's like if somebody made a movie of Abraham Lincoln or George Washington and cast him as what's the guy's name? Dang, what's the guy's name? It's gonna come to me, but I can't think of his name right now. But say they had Samuel Jackson playing George Washington, y'all be livid. Like, it doesn't match history. You damn right don't match history, but y'all do it all the time. Y'all do it all the time, man. And then you got they're gonna mention it. Then they got mad about the fact that they were considering having Idris Elba play James Bond. So what? What's the problem? It's a fucking movie. It's not real. James Bond is not a real person. Even if he was real, y'all do that shit all the time. Keep reading. Disney was slammed last year for casting a Eurocentric, lighter-skinned version of Tiana in Wreck-It Ralph 2 after the original darker-skinned character first made her appearance on film in 2009's The Princess and the Frog. Tiana is the same character that Disney was accused of using to sell watermelon candy back in 2012. Perhaps it was the combination of those two instances of negative PR, I'm guessing public relations, that compelled Disney to go with a black actress this time around. The uproar was reminiscent, Salakia, of when it was rumored that, that Idris Elba was being considered to be cast as James Bond, a fictional spy who has always played by white men. In that instance, a coordinated social media campaign began to make sure Elba never got a chance to order a martini shaken, not stirred on the big screen. Right, they made it a big deal on media just so that Idris Elba will not play James Bond. They want to keep him white, but they have no problem playing keep him red because they're not white, man. We gotta keep saying that, but they have no problem remaking remaking history to go along with their agenda of whitewash and everything. Because truth be told, if they make a movie right now of William Shakespeare, I guarantee you they're gonna make him as a so-called red man. Not so-called because he's red, a so-called white man. They ain't gonna put him as a white man. All the movies of King James, they ain't never made him a black man when he was a black man. All right, they never made movies showing at the times of up until the late 1800s that so-called blacks still ruled in Europe, different parts of Europe. When they always make their movies, they always make them so-called white people, man. But they got a problem with somebody playing a fictional person, James Bond, being a black man. You know why? Because Esau don't have any heroes. They don't have nobody to look up to because everybody in their history is nothing but rapists and murderers and captors. That's all they have. So they have to steal everybody else's history so they have somebody to look up to because they're a vile human being. They're a vile race of people. Nation of people, because it's not a race. It's a vile nation of people. I keep reading. But with Bailey, the haters are too late. While production on the film reportedly wasn't slated to start until early next year, the casting situation was a done deal, much to be charging of apparent Little Mermaid Pierce. After extensive search, it was abundantly clear that Halle possesses that rare combination of spirit, heart, youth, innocence, and substance, plus a glorious singing voice, all intrinsic qualities necessary to play this iconic role. Rob Marshall, who is set to direct the movie, said in a brief statement. All right, let's just scroll down and see some of these rants on Twitter. Yeah, that's right there. That's the Global Times post from China, I guess. Oh, this one was funny. This is, I guess, somebody, white Twitter. I'm sorry, I don't want to be a racist, but they don't even look alike. At least choose an actress who has some similar attributes like Sandra Bullock. And hashtag right there, not my Ariel. And this shows that the devil in you, the devil in you devils, man. That's why that's how we know that you are the so-called, not the so-called, that's how we know you are the Edomite, man. You are Esau, man. And then Jake, man, they get it because they said colored. Man, you can't get mad at somebody calling you colored if you're not getting mad at them calling you African American, man. But our people, they don't know, man, and they don't consider. They are foolish. They reject knowledge, like the scripture says, man. People really getting upset over a damn cartoon, a fictional character. But I'm gonna bring out this one scripture, man, just to prove the point. Like, no matter what goes on, no matter what goes on in America, in the world, period. Like, you gotta understand, like, the Lord, He set it up this way. The nation of Esau and the nation of Jacob / Israel is always gonna be at war, man. There's never gonna be no peace amongst the two. One is going to be over the other, and right now Esau is over his younger brother Jacob. But that's not how it's going to end. That's not how the story ends. The story ends with Jacob is going to overcome his brother through Yahushua when the Lord sends back His son Yahushua, and we're going to be back on top, and they're going to be beneath us in the spot that they belong. But right now they're over us because we have to serve out this punishment because we went against the law, statute, commandments. All right, and I'm gonna start at Genesis verse 25, chapter 25, verse 1. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And pay attention to this, because I'm about to give you the description out the first one. Give the description of how the first one looked. And I want you to pay attention. I'm going to keep reading. I want you to pay attention on how they did not give a description of how the second one looked. All right? Read 24 again. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. All right? Now they gave a description of the first son, which was Esau. Because you know why? Because there never in this time period, was anyone born that looked like that. He said he came out red. Now, when you look at the so-called white man, their pigmentation is not white, man. They have an undertone of red. That means you can see their blood through their skin because they lack pigmentation. And that's why I said it came out red, like a hairy. It's like red all over, like a hairy garment. Because back then they used to dye their garments, different colors. All right? So this child came out red. Now, you go anywhere on this earth, there's no person that looks like Esau, the so-called white man. Every other nation on this earth has color. Esau does not have color to them. They have a color, so I can take that back. They only have that red pigment. They either look real pale, pink, red, or they get beet red. That's their limit of color, from pale to beet red. That's how you know. That's the sign that the Lord set up to let the world know that they are the wicked, man. But throughout time, and since they've been in power, they try to hide themselves by calling themselves other nations, Greeks, Romans, Americans, Europeans. They keep changing their name because they're trying to hide the fact of who they is. But the Lord said that He's going to lift up He's going to search out their secret parts and lift up the skirt on this devil, and they're going to be exposed to the world. All right. And it didn't give a description about Jacob. Why? Because everybody else in the world already came out the same way. Dark skin, from a lighter brown to a darker shade of brown. Because there ain't no black people on the earth, man. There's nobody the color of black on the earth. And if you really look like a real dark-skinned person, you could see the brown in them. They just have a very deep melanin complexion. But those are just a play on words. They're going to call themselves white, and they're going to call us black because, you look up those two words in the dictionary. One means good things and the other means bad things. All right? But yeah, this was just, a quick article in the subject matter to let y'all know, like, the war on Jacob and Esau has been since the time of Genesis 25, and it's going to go on until the Lord, Yahweh Shai, comes back, and we put them in slavery, and ultimately we destroy them off the face of the earth. All right, so with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakar Kadash. That's the Heavenly Father and His Son's name in the Paleo Hebrew. And double honors to the Apostle GMS, who taught us this truth. And salutations to the men and women on the four corners of men on the four corners of the earth, teaching this truth in sincerity and in truth. And shalom.